Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary and I'm very excited for you to be here with me today. If you want to see this full face, go ahead and check out my previous video using all C'est Moi products. Now let's go ahead, wash this makeup off and put on a brand new face. Hello, we are back. Again, it's another new day and I am very excited to get started on this next brand new face. Now, before we dive into this, I do just want to quickly apologize for the lighting. I am working with the natural light right now and it is currently around almost 9 o'clock. So I apologize for that, and if it gets darker as we go, it's just based off the time, and I do definitely rely on that natural light for these videos. So we're gonna rush through this video and try to get as much light in as we possibly can. So I'm very excited to announce this next brand. This is probably one that people have heard of before. It's available at Targets, Walmarts, maybe even a couple of drugstores. This is Rimmel London. Now, I've used a couple of Rimmel products before. The one that I'm most familiar with is the primer. So I have used this product and possibly other ones as well. I can't really recall which ones. So this is a very familiar brand. So I hope you guys are excited as I am to get this brand new face on our face. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now, there was one product I was not able to get. We had a full face. The only product I just could not get my hands on, but it does exist, is a highlighter. Just all the Targets around me were just sold out of it, and I even tried checking online and I just could not get any. So unfortunately, we are going to be skipping past highlighter when it comes to that point. Again, super excited. Let's just start jumping into it. So we're going to start with the eyes as we usually do, and we're going to dive into the concealer. Now for the concealer, I have the Rimmel London Stay Matte Soft Matte Concealer. It looks like this. And we're going to head and open it up. All right. So just like a standard doe fit, like a skinny one, and we're going to apply this to our eyes, and I'm going to do things a little bit differently, just for different techniques. Is usually I use a beauty blender for a lot of the products that I do, but today I wanted to kind of stick to brushes only, so we're going to dot this onto our eyes, and then we're going to blend it out with a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. Alright, so there we have the concealer applied. There's nothing crazy sticking out to me on it yet. I do feel that it might crease here a little bit on the eye, so I don't know how great of an eye base it will be, but I'm not sure about that yet. Kind of has a little bit of a sticky feel to it. Maybe it's because it's a soft matte. It definitely has a touch of a sheen to it, so I think that was a little interesting. So it's not solid matte. I am seeing a little bit of a sheen to it. So that's kind of the initial laydown of that so far. So let's go ahead and get into the next product here, which is going to be the eyeshadows. Now, in a lot of my past videos, I have done a lot of just like standard, just simple neutral palettes, maybe with like pops of colors, typically purple, and I decided to go for something a little bit more vibrant. It's still on the purple side, but it is their Magnify's Electric Violet edition for their eye contouring palette. So we're going to be having a lot of fun doing a very purpley eye. It might be really fun to put this like pop of teal on there somewhere, just to kind of mix things up a little bit and have a little bit of fun. I have no idea what direction I'm going to go with this yet, but I saw this one and I was just like, yeah, let's play with some color. So it looks like it has mostly shimmers in it. There are 3 mattes, so they have a black over here. They've got I think it would be considered mauve-y, kind of a purple mauve color right there, and then like a more violet purple there, and those are the only matte shades in there. Now just from a first glance at it, I would like maybe a little bit more mattes in a palette, but that's okay. I think we can make do with these just fine. So let's go ahead and start applying some of this to our eyes. I am going to start with that purple mauve color as a transition shade just to lay something down, and we're going to go ahead and use, this is a Morphe M433 brush, so we're going to go ahead and dip in there and apply this into the crease. Right, so that is the laydown of that first color. You can definitely see it. It is a softer color. I do like it. It's a nice kind of cool purple color. So I think it's a great transition. There is a little bit of fallout when you put your brush in, but I'm not really seeing any of that appear on the face, which is nice. But I do think it, so far, just for a first shade, I think it is a nice transition shade, and the color builds up very nicely. So let's go ahead and let's play with color. Now, I don't know what I'm doing with this look yet, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I do want to go into that next matte shade, which is this very vibrant kind of purple, and kind of just a bit lower. Apply that in the crease again to get that pop of purple. And I think what I really want to do is have this teal be the main color on the eye. So let's go ahead and dive into that next color. We're just going to use the same brush and dip into there and just go a touch lower and apply this into the crease. Okay, so there's that color. This side's looking a little sloppy. I'm gonna kind of fix that up. It did not show up as vibranty purple as I thought it was, so I guess I would describe it as kind of a comfortable purple, if that makes sense, where looking at it in the pan, I expected it to be very punchy and vibrant purple, but it did kind of just like blend and mend in a very soft way with that first matte transition shade. So not what I expected when going into it, but still like laid down really nicely. So I'm gonna try and fix this guy up here a little bit. Okay, then next what I want to do, I think I just want to get right into this color. I'm very curious of how punchy that's going to show up on the eyes, especially finding out that that one wasn't as vibrant. So I do want to put this one primarily on the lid. We will go back and kind of deepen things up on the outer part, but I kind of want to get this guy on the lid first. I am just going to use my finger, just from experience, and I want that color pigment and payoff. I know that usually that's going to work better with your finger, so I am just going to dive on in. Definitely all of these shades, or all of these eyeshadows, none of them are really creamy, so they're definitely powdery, which is definitely going to affect that pigment. Usually a creamier shadow is going to have a lot higher pigment, so let's go ahead and apply this to the eye. All right, so there is that teal shade. I definitely I'm loving that color payoff. I thought maybe after trying just with my dry finger that maybe I'd need to try to wet it down, but it definitely has the pigment payoff just from using your finger standard dry, so that's very exciting. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go back into this purple guy here and then just kind of bring and blend in here just a little bit more. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take, I'm gonna start with this one here, but maybe I'll end up going into that one instead, just to kind of fill in back here and try to deepen that up a little bit. I am just gonna use my finger, so we're gonna go ahead and dip our finger into there. Looks very purpley, so we'll see how purpley that'll show up on the lid here. I ended up going into the one that I said I wasn't gonna first start out with, so this more bluey one. But I think that actually looks just fine with that teal color. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a smaller brush. I might actually even take that brush that came in the palette. It has like a sponge applicator on one side and then actually like a small brush on this side. And I do want to just take the matte black that they have in here and then just kind of close to the lash line here right at the end, kind of intensify this like pulled out area. We're not going to create a wing with like the line or anything, but maybe kind of give that wing effect with a soft, this matte black here. So we're gonna dip in there. Okay, so that's that. This one's definitely sloppier. I feel like you always have that one eye that just works out better, and this is always the one that's just like, this one looks good, and this one's a little not so good, but I think we can use a wipe and kind of tighten that up a little bit. But just using this black here, I mean, you can see it just from using like a simple brush here. I do bet if you wanted this to be more intense, similar to like the shimmers, you could spray down your brush a little bit and kind of wet it down a little bit, and you could definitely get more of an intense black. But I did want that one to be a little softer, just to kind of give an effect. Some of that might wipe away a little bit when we clean up the under eye here in a bit. But that is how the eyeshadows are looking. I'm so far very happy with the color payoff of most of those. Like, as I've already mentioned, this guy wasn't the color I initially expected it to be, but I do think all of the colors are working really well together so far. So that's super exciting. So we're gonna set the eyeshadow down for now and finish up the under eye after the rest of our face products are on. And then I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and just kind of sharpen and clean up those edges a little bit. All right, and we're just gonna keep moving along here. The next product is going to be eyeliner. So we have the Scandaleyes Micro Eyeliner. It is a liquid, it looks like a felt tip, and it says an ultra fine tip. So let's open that up. Here's what that looks like. It says that it should stay true to color. It says up to 24 hours of wear. Now I'm not gonna wear this for 24 hours. That's always exciting to hear from a eyeliner or any makeup product for the most part. So let's open the lid. Ooh, that is, yeah, that is a tiny, oh, that's super exciting. I love when I find small, little micro, small felt tips. I I definitely feel like I have more precision with that. So very nice black color. So let's go ahead and just do a simple line to the upper eyelid here. So that is applied. That applied very smooth, very quick, nice and thin. So very excited about that so far. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward then and break open the mascara. Now the mascara is the Wonderfully Real mascara. This one says that it's supposed to provide fuller, longer, luscious lashes. So definitely all things that I'm always looking for. Always looking for some length and some lush to my lashes. So awesome. And it also says it is waterproof. Now I know that sometimes people aren't fans of waterproof because I think it's harder to get off. I'm not really sure where I sit on waterproof mascaras. So just a heads up on this guy, this one is waterproof. So if you're not into that and you are interested in this product, they probably do make one that's not waterproof. So maybe just kind of pay attention for that label. But let's go ahead, curl our lashes. Okay. And let's put on some mascara. Okay, so coming out of the bottle here, it definitely feels like a lot of product gets on the wand. There is a little bit of excess that comes off there, so just make sure you wipe that off. And then the spoolie is a little bit different than the standard ones. It looks like the bristles are a little further set apart, and they are a little bit more, like they're a little longer at the end here and smaller at the front. So let's just see how this applies. Okay. So the mascara is applied. I'll try to come in close so you guys can hopefully see this. Now, right away from just the first couple of strokes, it's thick and it's heavy. So I curled my lashes, but I could definitely right away see after it applied, it was so heavy. I just saw my lashes go and just like fall. And I almost, because it's so thick, I can actually almost like see, not like see my lashes, but like I can see almost like the reflection of the mascara, like, which is interesting. And I think that's just from them falling down and being like wet and kind of thick and glossy. As for length, no, there's no length. Just super thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to continue the rest of my face here. Maybe after this dries a little bit, I might try to recurl them and see if I can get some of that lift back. And then like usual, when I go in and I put in my, when I finish up the bottom lash here, I might try to go in and reapply another coat. But I don't wanna go so crazy because it's thick. It is really thick. So that's how the mascara is laying down so far. And I believe that finishes up our eyes for now. And we are going to go into the face complexion products. Now, I definitely need some foundation on this face. I definitely have some stuff here that I'd like to cover up, so I'm hoping for some good things there. So let's get started with the primer. This is the Stay Matte Mattifying Primer. Now this is one that I have used before, so I do have thoughts on it, but I I don't quite recall the full performance of it. So we're gonna just treat this as usual as a first impressions and see if maybe my thoughts on it has changed. So let's open it up and I'll just kind of show it off to you guys here. It is a thick white creamy primer. It just kind of like rubs in. So we will just apply, we'll start kind of just with a small little pea size kind of on our fingers and apply that primarily in the places where we want the most mattifying coverage, and then just kind of pull the rest of the product out. Okay, so the primer is applied. I mainly just kind of put it here, here, and on the chin, and then just kind of pulled everything else out. So the feeling is different from most primers that I'm used to. Usually they're super silky or they're almost more sticky and gripping. This one, you can definitely feel that bit of powderiness to it to kind of make it mattified. Now it's not super mattified, but maybe when the foundation is over, it maybe that's into effect. I don't know. Don't know what to think on it here yet. It's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of pore filling, but I think we'll be able to again see more of that once as the foundation's on. It just has a different texture than what I'm used to. So let's close the lid on that, put on the foundation, and we'll see how that sits on top of the primer. And then that means for foundation, we are using the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour Breathable Long Wear Foundation. Now I just picked up one color. I believe, I don't recall quite how many options that they had, but there appeared to be enough of a difference that I felt pretty confident that this was going to be the closest match. And typically anything that is ivory usually is a fine match for me, so might be a little late, but I only did pick up the one shade. So let's see let's see what we think of this. Ooh, so it is, I did not expect that. I wasn't sure if it would open up to a pump or just like an open bottle. It is a very large doe foot applicator. I wasn't expecting that, so that's honestly super awesome, super clean. You can just kind of dab it on your face here. Cool. Very shocked by that. So we will dab a little bit of this on our face, and then I'm going to use an e.l.f. blending brush to blend in the foundation today. Oh, not sure how much I'm supposed to use, so we'll find out. Okay, so that is the foundation. It definitely might be a touch light and kind of yellowy. I'm looking a little ghosty, especially like my chest is really red right now, so that definitely looks a little off there. But maybe it'll oxidize, or maybe with the bronzers and the blushes that'll kind of settle in a little bit. Now, the feel of it is super lightweight. Like I can't even really tell that it's on my face, which is awesome. The coverage is definitely not full coverage. It says on the bottle that it's supposed to be a medium coverage. I guess it's medium coverage. It kind of depends on where you what you determine to be a medium coverage. I would say it's a light leaning medium. I did have to try and build it up here in a couple of places, and it's slightly buildable, but would have liked a little bit more coverage on those, but we can still go over it with the concealer. Just so far overall, loving the feel of it. Doesn't specify on here, but it's more of a matte foundation, I would say. That mattifying primer underneath, if it wasn't doing anything before, it possibly is doing something now and working with that foundation, I think. I don't see it really gripping anywhere strangely, so that's really nice. So yeah, aside from the color just being a touch off, and the coverage not being quite as much as I'm used to or was hoping for, just kind of in these areas here, liking the feel of it. So let's keep going then and move on to the concealer again. So we're going to conceal our under eyes and try to get a little bit more coverage on some of those spots. And then I'm going to start by using that Real Techniques brush, and then after I kind of get it applied, I'll probably go back in with this guy and blend it in a little bit more. So that is applied. Definitely, it helped an okay amount with some of the coverage there. Now this guy is just a little stubborn, so he's gonna kind of show through no matter what. But the laydown was nice. Like I said with the eyes, this concealer has a little bit of a tackiness to it, so I definitely want to set it down here soon. But that tackiness kind of worries me on if it'll crease up or anything like that. The foundation, however, doesn't have like any tackiness to it. It almost feels like it wouldn't really need to be set down, which is pretty cool. But we definitely want to set down the eyes here. So let's go into the next product, which is going to be the Rimmel Stay Matte Mattifying Loose Powder. Now a lot of these products are claimed to be mattifying, and I'm definitely feeling a mattified face, and I don't mind it. Sometimes I'm in for a dewy face, sometimes I'm in for a matte face. I don't mind either of them. So here's what it looks like. It has a little puff in there, and we just need to open seal on this guy. And then I'm going to dump a little bit into the lid. And let's just go ahead and take let's just use this guy. This is a Mary Kay All Over Powder brush. I was trying to see if I had something smaller. I guess this will work. This will work for all over the face. Let's just use this ColourPop E15 for definitely under the eyes. Get those set. And then I will take the Mary Kay All Over Powder brush now. All right, we are feeling matte. We are feeling set. Awesome. So let's go ahead then and go into the brows before I forget. Now the brow products are, the first one here, Brow This Way Fill and Sculpt Eyebrow Definer. And this is in the shade 001 Blonde. And then the brow gel is from the same Brow This Way Lightweight Gel. So let's start by opening this guy up. It looks like he has, yep, spoolie on one side and one of these tips on that side. So kind of a triangular raindrop shape. Now let's move our mirror close here and try and shape our eyebrows. And I apologize if the lighting is changing here. It is dark outside now, so I tried to go fast enough, but I guess I didn't. So hopefully this is still showing up okay for you guys, but again, I'm sorry. But let's put our brows on. Alright, the brows are applied. Never sure how even they are. Brows are not my biggest skill. But I do think the product laid down nicely. The color is fine. It's interesting because I've heard, from watching other YouTubers who do makeup or have a makeup channel, I've always heard them talk about products feeling kind of waxy, and I've never quite known what that is. And I think I know. I think this is definitely kind of a waxy feel. There's definitely the pigment there, but something about the waxiness is a little heavy, which is not a deal breaker, I guess, but I definitely have used other brow products that feel a little bit less waxy or chunky. They just glide on a little bit smoother. So that's kind of the first impressions there. So let's go ahead and set those down with the Brow This Way lightweight gel. All right. Pretty standard little brow gel applicator, a little bit bigger than some. Definitely looks like there's a lot of product on there, so apply cautiously. It might kind of go on thick here. Brow gel is applied. Not bad. I think it did a good job of kind of feathering them out there a little bit. My brows are definitely a little darker blonde than I'm used to, I think, but not mad about it. So far I think the brow gel for sure is doing a good job of combing those brows out. So cool. Now what we'll do is, before we do the rest of the face here, let's just quickly finish up that under eye, kind of figure out what we want to do there. So I think what I'm going to do is use that same small brush that came with the palette, and I'm just going to dip into this purple guy here for starters. And I'm going to start at the outer part here because it might still have a little bit of that black on there in case it is kind of dark. And then what I want to do is, I don't think I want to take the teal, but I think I might let's take this guy here and kind of put that in the more, the inner half, the bottom lash line here, just using that same brush. And then we're going to take this lightest one here and use that as the inner corner. So I'm just going to put my finger in there and dab that in. And what we might actually be able to do with that, it might be a little glittery, but I might try to use it as a highlighter as well, because why not? That's the bottom lash. Let's go ahead and grab that mascara again and apply it to the bottom. I'm a little worried that it's going to be really chunky, so I'm going to try to take, I don't know, a good amount of this off of here. So that's applied to the bottom. It's definitely messy, so I might, after that dries, try to clean that up a little bit. It's really sticky, and it got on this eye here, like I didn't even dip back in going from eye to eye, and I was very gentle with this one, and I tried to be gentle with this one, and it just a glob came off, and I had to try to disperse it. Not my favorite application of mascara, but I'll try to clean it up and make it look a little bit better. I never went back in and curled the top lashes, but I did try and see if I could like take the mascara wand and lift them up and see if any length would come on them. And it didn't. And I feel like I can see the glisten and the shine of the mascara, like my lashes are like heavy. And I can kind of see them, which is weird. Not something I'm used to. What I'm actually going to do here as well is I feel like I want a little bit more depth on this lower lash. So I'm going to take that black and dip in there and apply that just on the outer kind of waterline here, because I kind of want a little bit more depth on that waterline. And maybe even, let's do this. Let's do a dip into both of these guys, because why not? Dip, 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 dip. Yeah, I like that. It kind of just like adds a little bit more depth to that outer part there. Those are the eyes. Not bad. Fun with color. And then we will go into the bronzer. The bronzer is called the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. Now this might be one that I've possibly used before. It looks very familiar, so maybe when I was a lot younger I've used this. I can't recall. There's probably been so many Rimmel products that I've used that I just can't quite recall. But let's go ahead and let's just use an angled elf brush, dip on in, and sculpt the face. That's a quick bronze. I don't hate it. I think the color is a little more maybe goldy yellowy than I'm used to, but I don't think that's bad. I think it looks really nice on the forehead. I tried to like really get it up there to try to add some color back into the face. I'm not sure how I'm liking how it's applying kind of in the cheekbone there. I think it's fine so far. It's got a little bit of a shimmer in the pan, and you can definitely like sort of see that glow on the face, but it's not intense. It definitely still fits with this whole matte face that we have going on. So that's kind of how that's looking so far. Let's go ahead, pop that lid on, and go into the blush. Now I do think I'm just going to hold on to the same brush here for that. Just kind of like dust off that excess product. And go into the blush. This is the Rimmel Maxi Blush. Again, this blush has a touch of a shimmer to it. Matches my shirt. That wasn't expected. Cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop this on the cheeks. So there's the blush. I like it. I don't think there's a whole lot of color payoff. Now, don't get me wrong, it could easily just be my lighting right now. I could easily step away from all of this, and when I look at myself in the mirror in my bathroom, I might look totally different. There's a shimmer to it. So from what I can see here, it would be a great blush topper. Maybe the color builds up. Actually, kind of as I'm doing this, you're starting to see it a little bit more. I do think it's really cute. And again, I think it's kind of working with this matte look. The eyes are looking good together. The shirt is matching. So yeah, not bad at all. I just do think just takes a touch to build that color up, and would possibly even work as a little shimmery blush topper. Let's go ahead then. I talked about possibly using one of these guys as a highlighter. I don't know if this will kind of ruin things. We'll just try it. Let's use that brush that we used for under our eyes for the powder and go into this guy here just ever so slightly. It's not technically a highlighter, but nothing wrong with using a eyeshadow as a highlighter. It's definitely there. Worked great as a brow highlighter and that inner corner highlighter. Cool. And lips. Okay. Next, we're gonna go on to the lip products. So we have a lip liner and a matte liquid lip. So for the lip liner, we have the Exaggerated full color lip liner. Looks like this. So it's like a retractable one, but it is put in there at a nice sharp angle, which is really cool. So we are going to line and fill our lips in with this. It broke. Ah! It broke. Twist it back up. Keep going. There's that color. I think that's super cute. I like that color a lot. Never sure if it's a good color match for the look here. I think it is. I think it's a better match than some of the other lip colors we've done on this channel before, but that's the lip liner. I think on its own, it's nice. It's a little tacky, but I think that'll kind of dry down. It applied pretty smoothly. Now let's put our matte lip on top. This is the Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color. And I hope I did a decent job matching these up. So that's what it looks like. Doe foot applicator. It kind of skinnies at the front there, which is really nice. So let's apply. And there is that lip color. I think it was a fine match with the lip liner. It was a little bit more like similar pinks, but maybe this one was a little bit more, I'm gonna say like salmon-y. A little more of that orangey salmon tone, I think, to it, which I actually think helps even more tie to the look, having that more orangey kind of color to it. So that's the lips so far, and we are almost done with the face. All we have left to do is set the face. So to set our face, we are going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte Fix and Go 2-in-1. It is a primer and setting spray. So if we wanted to, we could have set this on our face before even putting the foundation on, but I did just want to hold on to it and just use it as a setting spray only. So opening this guy up. All right. And I like to just do a spray off to the side first, just to get it going. Ooh. That might be a very nice mister. That just it sprayed very smoothly. It's got kind of a, oh, what's that smell? I don't know what the smell is, but it's something super familiar. I don't know if it smells like a cleaning product, not like a bad cleaning product, but something about it is like so specific to me, but I can't recall what it is. I don't know if it's what I'd want in a setting spray, but we're gonna put it on our face. Cucumber? All right, and that is set down. I feel like that dried really quick, really nicely. We're feeling pretty set in place. And this is the full face. What do you guys think? I hope you guys like it. I definitely am happy with the outcome overall. I had fun playing with a little bit more color on the eyes than I usually do. Here we are. Let's go ahead, get things cleaned up here a little bit, and get ready to talk about the products here individually. So, our overall face here for our Rimmel London products were $85.76. Now, when I was preparing for this video, I was actually really surprised that Rimmel kind of fell in this $90 and below category. Definitely when I think of Rimmel, I compare it very much to like L'Oreal and Maybelline and some of those other brands that you see at like Target and drugstores, but they aren't quite below $100. So when this one fell into that category, I was actually really shocked, and that made me just more excited to try the products because, you know, who knows if you're getting products, you can get a full face under $100, and there's home run products, like awesome. Also, I kind of feel like I used some of these products when I was younger, but I definitely forgot about them. So I'm really happy that these products are this price, essentially. I think I'm going to be including a good amount of these products back into my routine. And it's awesome that they are at a lower dollar price. So first impressions are just on general there. This full face for the cost of $85.76. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think that's great. So thumbs up on that price. That's awesome. Now let's talk about the products individually here as we clean up our brushes. The first product that we used was the concealer, the Rimmel Stay Matte Concealer. Now, I'm going to hang on to it probably, but compared to other concealers, I definitely have other ones I think I enjoy a little bit more. I guess it just didn't thrill me. There was nothing about it that like stuck out to me like, oh, look at that coverage, or it was a little like tacky, but that's not a deal breaker or anything like that. I'm not really seeing any creasing, which is what I thought I would be seeing. So that's good. I guess I'm just kind of 50-50 with it here. So I will be hanging on to it. So it is a yes, but it's not like a home run for me, I guess. So that's the concealer. Next is the eyeshadow palette, and that one is a definite yes for me. I'm very happy with the payoff of that teal blue color, and I'm excited to put a little bit more color into the makeup looks that I do, just in general, and even on this channel. If you want to see more bright colored eye looks, let me know. I'm happy to do those for you. But yeah, I was so happy with the color payoff of that guy. I love purple eyeshadows. I'm so happy to have this in my collection. This is a definite yes for me. Then that takes us into the eyeliner. Now the eyeliner, I was also super shocked. The eyeliner I was super shocked on as well. I was really happy and excited to open that up and see that super fine, thin, defined felt tip. I do prefer a felt tip pen usually, so that was super awesome. I did not do a wing with the liner, but just from like the little application of it, I do feel that it's going to make a wing application a lot easier for some people like myself who struggle with creating winged liner. So I'm excited to try and test it out that way. Plus it claiming to be a 24-hour wear. That's awesome. You don't want your liner wearing off on you. So I'm gonna say the eyeliner is also a yes. Then that takes us into the mascara, the Wonderfully Real mascara. This one I'm not thrilled on. It claimed to have lush luscious and lengthening and luminous, all that, and it was heavy. It was not lengthening. It was messy, and maybe it's because it's a new tube. Sometimes I know you gotta let them dry down a little bit and kind of give them a little bit of wear, but I don't think it's gonna give me that length that I'm looking for. So this is not gonna be one that I hold on to. This one is going to be a fail for me. And then we have the face products. So now we are on to the primer, which is the Stay Matte Mattifying Primer. Similar to the concealer, I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I think the foundation is sticking to it nicely. I feel it, I believe it's doing a fine job with mattifying. I do think I just need to try it out with other foundations and other products and wear it for a long period of time to kind of see what I think of it. Now I know that I said that I've used this one before, and when I used it then, I didn't enjoy it. So I'm not trying to have that steer my decision, I guess. I do want to try to give it a fighting chance. I'm not seeing anything negative on it on my face here so far, so I do want to give it another go here. So I will be hanging on to it and trying it out with some other products. So that's going to be a yes for now, and holding on to that one. And then we go into the foundation, the Lasting 25-Hour Breathable Foundation. Yes, definitely is a breathable foundation. It doesn't have the coverage that I'm used to, but definitely if you were thinking more of a light makeup kind of day, I think this would be a great foundation. I do want to kind of check and look at their color options again, because I did feel that this was the closest option, and I have a strong feeling that the next one up is going to be too dark. So maybe this is the right shade for me, but I'm curious about their shade range as well. But yeah, I was very shocked by this, and how it feels on the face is great. So this one is also a yes for me. And then we are going to go into the brows. Now, for the brows, what do I think? I mean, they're fine. I think similar again to the concealer. I don't quite know where I stand on it. I think I do have other brow pencils for sure that I might enjoy more. So I'm definitely gonna have to play with it and kind of compare it to my other ones and see where it sits in my collection. So I will hang on to it for that. The brow gel, I think this will be one that I'll definitely enjoy, and I think I will add it to my collection. I do need to compare it also to some of them that I have, but just from the first application here, I like how nice and feathered it made the hairs on my brows look. Usually when it comes to a brow gel, I try to lean towards clear brow gels because I don't want to tint them more than what the pencil or the pomade or whatever I'm using below is doing, but I don't mind this. So this one is a yes. And then we have the setting powder. Setting powders are always a tricky one for me because I do just enjoy them, and especially when they're in a loose form here. I feel like I say this in every single video, that I need to compare them all together. I guess it's okay. I probably am gonna hang on to it. I don't know how long I'll hang on to it. I do think I have other setting powders that I enjoy more, like feeling my face here. Like the foundation I don't feel needs to be set, but also there is like a slight, just the slightest little like tacky feel to the face, and I think the powder could have done a better job of getting rid of that tackiness. So I don't know. I don't know what to say on this one yet, so I'm gonna hold on to it for now. Yeah, compared to my other ones, I don't know where it sits, I guess. For the bronzer here, yeah, also another one I think I'm gonna have to just compare to some of my other ones. It was a fine one. I definitely like the way it looks on my forehead here, nice and glowy. I think it's just a color that I'm not used to using on my face, but that doesn't mean it's a bad color for my face. I'm gonna hang on to it. I'm gonna compare it to the other ones and see if it's one that I want to continue to add to the collection, but just from a first impressions here, it worked just fine, I'd say. And then the blush, this is a definite yes, I'm gonna hang on to. I don't typically enjoy like a shimmery blush, but I do like this one for sure. That blush color does need to build up a little bit, but I don't mind that at all. Very simple. The blush is definitely a yes for me. And then that takes us into the lip products. The lip liner definitely applied nice and smoothly. It is a color that I don't believe I have in my collection yet. So the lip liner is definitely going to be a yes. It did break as we were using it, but I don't know if that was just, if I had it out too far or if it was just already kind of cracked when I got it. I'm not worried about that happening. That just happens sometimes. But I do like the way that it applied. So definite yes on that. And same with the matte lipstick as well. That's a definite yes. I do like how the two colors laid together. It is another color that I don't believe I have quite in my collection. So excited to add this one in and use this one a little bit more often. And then we have the setting spray. Now, for the setting spray, I'm also going to say yes as well. I do again need to compare it to a couple of other setting sprays that I have. I do think it did a fine job of setting the makeup down. I feel like if I wanted to use this throughout the day, or if I wanted my makeup to last all day, I think I would need to set it down a couple more times with this setting spray. I don't know how long lasting the setting spray is going to be. Now that smell that I smelled, it's still slightly there, but it's not distracting. So it does kind of fade away a little bit. So that's not an issue. The biggest thing I like the most about it is the mister. It doesn't jet on your face and leave little spots and specks or anything like that. And it does dry down super fast. So if you do want to just coat your face, I feel like you could just, it'll dry down really fast, go again. So I do like that about it. And that's all of the products here. So I believe there was one, I think the only thing that I'm not hanging on to is that mascara. Everything else I'm going to be hanging on for the time being and comparing a couple of those to existing products that I already have in my collection. Again, this is our full face. That's going to be everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that little notification bell, and give this video a big thumbs up. If you want to see any of these Rimmel products put to a full wear test, please leave that in the comments down below. I would be happy to put them to a full wear test for you and give you guys my thoughts. Also, if there were some Rimmel products here that I did not use that you guys are interested in, go ahead and leave that in the comments down below as well. I'd be happy to try and get my hands on those for you and let you guys know what my impressions are on those. And lastly, if you have a brand recommendation, go ahead and leave that in the comments below as well. I'd be happy to add it to my list of so many brands and make a video for you guys in the future. That's gonna be everything for this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.